Okay, so the creator of Bleach has recently shocked Japan after a post of his got everyone going wild of him essentially going at the haters. Now, y'all already know the saying, haters gon' hate, but ultimately, when it comes to manga, anime, and in general, these creators, it's rare that you actually see them actually clap back at the haters. For the most part, they take it in stride, or at the end of the day, they'll be humble about it. You rarely see mangaka actually engage in haters because they kind of look at it as, well, they're just haters, like what's the point of it? However, a post of the creator of Bleach, Tite Kubo, went viral fairly recently because he basically went in on people that essentially constantly criticize and go at manga authors. And because it's been a trend, and I don't want to just say recently because this has been a long-standing, thing where fans or critics or people that essentially, again, we're going to categorize as, well, the haters, always got something to say and always want to try their best to tear down an author for their works. And I also want to throw in that this post has actually been said before. I believe the creator of Bleach wrote something like this a while back, because when this post first hit, if I'm not mistaken, it was some people that I once knew that ultimately were a part of the brigade that were essentially attacking the creator of Bleach. Which, if Kubo saw it, he was probably thinking like, yo, what is this Malcolm X looking person doing trying to attack me? Like, yo, you bugging. But yeah, we're gonna start to read what was said by Kubo and react to it and just kind of talk about in general what's been going on with people hating. And even before we get into that, I want to say that this post actually came at a very interesting time because fairly recent, I've had, I want to just say maybe 1-2 little haters over the last few days that have been attacking me personally, and it's the same person. Like, when you're a content creator and you've been doing this for some time, when it's essentially a certain person, or when it's actually a group of people that are doing these things because, well, you've been doing this for a long time, you notice patterns and things like that. Like, we know, because I want to say it was like a few days ago now, after I had posted one of my episodes of ForneverWorld News, where I got this one hater that was talking mad smack like, yo, dog, you fell off, you need to stop with the distractions of the rap music and all this stuff. Like, and again, for the most part, I normally just ignore that, or I just let it go or whatever. Like, I don't really think too much of it. Gotta remember, I've been doing this for quite some time, so ultimately I probably heard most insults out there when people just want to talk smack. But it was just one of them days where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just let a hater have a couple words, and I basically told homie, eat up. Well, you know what I said. And since then, they've tried to switch the narrative to say like, oh, how are you attacking fans? Like, you need to understand how to engage with fans. Like, let's be very clear. If somebody's intent is strictly and solely to tear you down and coming off with insults, you're going to react however you feel fit. Like, it just is what it is. You cannot expect someone to react a certain way to your disrespect just because that's what you want. No. That's not how this works here. And since then, on like multiple of my social media accounts, the same person has been regurgitating the same thing of like, hey, just because a fan said this and that. Like, if that's how you're acting and attacking and coming off with malice and whatnot, that is not fandom, that is haterade. Because I'm not even trying to toot my own horn or anything like that, but being honest, when it comes to this YouTube stuff, also remember that I've been doing this a long time, and just being honest, if I wanted to get my YouTube channel to how it's been at certain given points, I can. Like, I understand the game of YouTube very well. Again, been doing it for a while, so I kind of know the ins and outs and whatnot, and I know what it takes ultimately to get my channel to the heights that it's been. But that has not been my prerogative for some time now, and maybe one day it will be. Who knows? It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be whenever. But honestly, me, just been focusing in on my goals, been focusing in on family. Obviously, in case you don't know, been writing music for quite some time. Those are the things that have been taking up some of my time. However, it has been very good and it feels good to ultimately been doing this thing again, being back on cam and talking about, the things that I'm passionate about. So yeah, like, when you've been doing this for a long time with YouTube, if you understand the game enough, you know essentially what needs to be done if you want to get the numbers and all of that stuff that you want to get. So again, to hear that whole fall off thing, for me personally, it was like, dog, if I did what I know I need to do in order to get those numbers again, like, I would do it, but I got other prerogatives. But ultimately, despite the fact that I said all of that, I kind of wanted to just say like, yo, dog, the haters, that's what they want. So like, in this instance, I guess I'm giving a demonstration of like, this is what the haters actually would want. But then again, at the same time, sometimes you got to set people straight. But with that being said, let's get into what Tite Kubo recently said regarding haters and people that are criticizing manga authors. Because it started off with me seeing this. It said, a comment by Tite Kubo in which he criticized those who criticize successful mangaka is currently going viral in Japan. This comes after a recent wave of criticism targeting some mangaka. The statement has received over 5 million views in less than a day. Essentially, a lot of people checked it out, and yeah, Japan, I gotta imagine, was shocked because again, manga authors normally just don't pay no mind, give no attention to the haters, but on this day, Kubo said, let's do it. Let's give the hater what they want. And it reads as follows. I'll say this because there are some people who seem to misunderstand. What readers have is not the right to change the story of a work. What they have is the right to choose whether to read it or not. And before we continue, like, that's facts. Like, already, homie spitting facts. Like, at the end of the day, you're not in control of the story if you're a fan or a reader or you're just enjoying a work. You're in control of your fandom and you're in control of your decision whether or not you want to continue on this journey or you decide to step away. But you have no say-so in terms of telling the creator which way the story should go. Like, sure, feedback is always welcomed of like, hey, you know, I really enjoyed this character. I would love to see more of them, or hey, I would love to see more about this narrative. But in terms of trying to criticize the creator and pressure the creator to go in a certain direction that you personally want, that is not in your control, nor is that your right or ability to be able to do so, because again, it's the author's work, not yours. If you don't like it, then just stop reading it. If you have the talent to create something more interesting than Bleach, then you should immediately become a mangaka. If it's really more interesting, you'll definitely succeed more than Bleach. Essentially, homie is saying like, yo dog, if you can't do it like me and you have no ambition to even attempt to get to this level, because just being honest, anybody can accomplish any dream they have in their mind if they set their mind to it. If you want to be an artist, practice every day, keep on perfecting your craft. If you want to be a musician, if you want to be anything in this world, of course, putting in the effort to make it happen will eventually lead to some type of results. So Kubo's saying like, yo dog, if you think you can make something on the level of Bleach, if you think you could do it like me, by all means do it. Why aren't you doing it? And him throwing in that interesting thing is because again, I kind of sort of remember some of the rumblings of what the people that, especially that I knew back then, were saying. And I guess they were upset at the particular point of where the story was going, because at that point, Aizen had been somewhat removed from the story. This was after the end of the Aizen saga and when we started off the Bleach Fullbringers or whatnot. And the people were very upset, like, yo, what happened with Aizen? What's going on there? But again, like, you can be upset about that. You can have your criticisms of like, oh man, I wish it was like that. But to personally insult and attack and criticize the creator thinking that that's going to change something, you're wrong. If you say you can't draw, then work hard. Become an editor and give advice to mangaka. If you truly have talent, you're welcomed anywhere. And I want to throw in there that, yeah, of course, if you have the talent, you can do things. But taking it back to just quickly Naruto, there's, you know, the whole concept of talent and hard work, where essentially, even if you don't have the inherent talent, right? Even if you're not born with it, because in all honesty, anybody can reach levels of talent if they put their mind to it. Like, that's personally, like, if you want to play basketball, if you want to do art, if you want to do music, whatever the case may be, if you practice at it, the talent will come along. And yeah, as you're going up in the ranks of whatever, you know, industry you're doing, there's other slots that can allow you to continue to succeed while you still work at the goals that you're trying to accomplish. So even as Kubo is here, you know, going at the haters and basically setting them straight, he's also at the same time giving advice. Like homie is actually schooling the haters at the same time. But it continues. But if you have no talent, no effort, and yet you complain about those who do their best, if you're the kind of person who just gets in the way of people who are working hard, then just go hide somewhere else. Keep your eyes shut, open your mouth, and live off the rain and dirt. And I just gotta say, damn, dog. Like, yo, there's a reason why Tite Kubo has always been him. Like, yeah, homie over the years has been a lot more humble, a lot more quiet about things like this, but he has that dog in him. At the end of the day, if you play with Tite Kubo, if you think you're gonna attack this man, his work, his credibility, and everything that he's done, well, you're gonna get hit with something like that. Because it is lame and corny to be attacking people that actually are trying their best. Like, in this world, all you can do at the end of the day, if you really want to make it happen in whatever field or whatnot, is give it your all. Give it your best shot. Give it your best try. Try your best. And if you're criticizing somebody else that's doing that and you're not giving your all, you're not trying your best, you're not trying to be the best person you can be in whatever the case may be, or just being a good person in general, like, I think that that also has some merit and credibility into whatever you're doing. Like, yeah, being a good person is still valued in this world. People want good people around them. Nobody wants nasty, negative negative energy and stuff like that. Like, people don't want that. Like, I know we've entered certain ages where it feels like, oh, being an edgelord and being, you know, talking crap to people and all of that stuff is like, oh, it's gonna give me some brownie points with, you know, a certain subsection of fandom or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, the people that actually matter, the people in the industries or the people in the places and circles that you want to be around, they want to be around positive energy, good people that are good natured. They don't want to be around nastiness and vitriol and malice stuff. Like, no, nobody wants that. And even though, again, this has been said before by Kubo, ultimately it's nice and refreshing to see a creator standing up, especially somebody at that level of Tite Kubo. Like, let's not mistake it, Bleach is still one of the most successful series of all time out there. It's still one of the best series out there. At the end of the day, it was coined one of the big three manga for a reason, whether you like it or not. Ultimately, like, Tite Kubo created something that is just very special and in the hearts of millions. So there's nothing you could take away from that, regardless of what complaint, criticism, or anything for that matter that you got to say. And so to see an established creator like that stand up for the people that, you know, are constantly having to take heat, like especially a lot of these newer authors in this social media age, because like when Kubo first said this, like social media still wasn't at the level of what it's at right now, where people are, you know, just kind of always with 8 trillion thousand opinions or bots just attacking you for no reason. Like, it was a little bit less, well, chaotic, I would say. So now these new creatives that they got to deal with, you don't know what could come your way. You could be on any social media platform just chilling, doing your thing, and ultimately you get some vitriol or some nastiness coming your way. And some of these creators, they don't necessarily have the outlet, or they don't have the oomph to come out and say some of these things that Tite Kubo had to say. So him saying this is kind of speaking up for a lot of the creators that take, you know, honestly, you could even argue that that's verbal abuse. Like, if you've never created something, worked hard at something, or in general put your all into creating something beautiful, or just in general something that you enjoy doing and love, then you will not understand what it feels like to have just nonsensical bull crap coming your way by haters that don't understand the process and don't understand the time it took you to do what you're doing. So big, massive shout outs to Kubo, and massive shout outs to all of the creators alike, whether you're a mangaka, whatever the case may be that you're trying to accomplish. Keep on doing your thing. Let the haters continue to hate, because yeah, the saying came about because haters gonna hate. And don't let the distractions of that stuff actually come into your way, because again, you can do anything that you set your mind to. Just put your all into it, be a good person. And yeah, I definitely feel like this was very important, and I'm glad that something at this magnitude is actually being said and being read by a lot of people. Because imagine for the would-be creatives, like imagine those people that they actually dream of doing something, and because they constantly see what the internet has become and what social media is right now, that they decide, you know what, maybe I can't handle this, maybe this isn't for me. Like, I remember in some of my earlier days when I was first starting out and wanting to do music or whatnot, I used to have this certain thought and this certain notion of, well, there was this one radio jockey that he was very much so opinionated, very much so critical, and I used to think to myself in those times, oh boy, I don't know if I got to that level and I actually was interviewed by this person, if I could hack it, because like, yeah, like, you know, homie was wild with what he would say. And I don't want to imagine what it would have been if I would have said, you know what, I'm gonna stop my goals of writing music and creating, and no, because I don't ever want to get to that level where maybe I'm obligated to, or I'm, you know, pushed to go on that radio show, and ultimately homie tears me down. I'm gonna feel so bad about it. Like, who cares? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to really push past those things, push past your fears. Don't let that nastiness that the internet may bring, or people in general, stop you from what you're trying to do. And I guess for all the haters that think they're going to tear down creatives that are working hard and giving it their all and putting their heart, soul, and passion into whatever they're creating, like, if you're one of those people that are doing that, I'm going to reiterate what I told to that one hater a few days ago. Eat A. That's all I have for this one. I'm Tim. As always, people, have an awesome day. Peace in. Shout out to the creatives. Shout out to all my loved ones.